Well, anyways, well, let's just start over, right? Because I was trying to look for old girl's name because she was talking about anger and stuff like that, but whatever. I guess I'm just gonna start over this video again. So, anyways, I was watching this video of this girl. Whatever her name is, I don't know. But she's cool. I like her because I like the way she talks, man. She talks real chill as hell, and like I just wish she was like kind of like my friend, so she could like talk. Because I like the way she talks. It's like real chill. It's like kind of like not judgmental at all. This is just how I see it. It's like the stoner talk, chill as hell, but like laying on facts, man, just straight facts. And I just like the whole time I'd be like, man, I feel you, man. I so agree. Like, holy snap. But anyways, she's cool, she's chill, she's got some nice lashes. But I wish I would have got her freaking TikTok name. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about anger because she reminded me of it because she was talking about her anger, and I'm gonna talk about my anger. And it's usually I've been talking more serious stuff because there are a lot of serious things around. Like, there's positivity. Yeah, yes. And I'll probably get back on talking about positivity and all that stuff in due time. But like right now, I think serious stuff needs to be like put on the table first before we can get all like positivity and all that stuff, because sometimes not everything's all about positivity, although you should have a positive mindset. I'm not saying don't have a positive mindset, but I'm saying is that you have to be honest. You can't just like be living in life with like rose-colored glasses and just burying your head in the fucking sand. Okay? Because like life gonna wake you up and be like, hey, wake up. Right? So eventually at some point y'all gonna wake up, whether you want to or not. I'm just gonna let y'all know about that. But anyways, back to anger. So for a long time I was very angry, believe it or not. I hit first, ask questions later. I'll tell you a few stories on why I was of how angry I was. Okay, so in a relationship, I used to be abusive. Yep. I used to hit my ex-boyfriend and punch him in the face, punch him in the nose, because I was just angry. Because I was over controlling, because I didn't like the fact that he would prioritize his friends or his, over me, right? So I would get violent because I would tell him first and foremost, like, hey, I don't like this. He didn't listen. So then I was like, that's it. I'm just gonna have to like slap some sense into you because it seems like you're not listening when I'm speaking to you, right? But also I didn't know how to talk to people back then. I used to be very controlling. I used to be like, you need to stop that. Just stop it. And all that stuff. I wouldn't even say like, hey, why are you doing that? Or this and that. Whatever. It was either my perspective, my way, or you're an enemy to me, basically. Everyone had to have my same mindset. Everyone had to agree with whatever I was saying, or otherwise, you're wrong. Also, I used to be, I guess, sort of like a pick-me, but not really. Like, at some point, I used to hate women. I wouldn't say hate women per se, but I didn't have empathy towards women, especially when they go through abuse or anything like that. I used to think that they deserved it. Very, very ass backwards, I tell you, because, I lived in a house that blamed the victims in abuse. And the crazy part is that I saw it because, when I saw it and I didn't go through it, I was like, oh, that could never be me. That could never be me. So, before we get back into anger, the next time you want to blame the victim, especially when it comes to an abusive situation, don't be like me and blame the victim, because you're going to be in that spot. You're going to be in that same exact spot. You're going to be crying. And when you're crying, nobody's going to listen to you, because I was in that spot where I was crying and nobody listened to me. Because why? I blamed the victim. And also, I made very, very terrible choice of friends. So, like, there is that. So, when you blame the victim, you will have terrible choice of friends. And then when you go ahead and cry about the situation, nobody's going to listen to you. Because they're the type of people that you once thought or had that mindset of blaming the victim. So when you become that victim, they're not going to be there to have your back. If anything, they're just going to be real quick to talk shit about you and turn on you like they did with me. Funny how things go around. It's like cyclical, man. I tell you. So that's why you got to be very careful what you put out here, because it's going to come back to you. And it's going to open your mind and open up a perspective for yourself, because you weren't open for that perspective in the beginning. So it's good to be open about ideas and all that stuff, because life will humble the fuck out of you and remind you just how much you need to, like, understand and learn from this, because it seems like you haven't learned anything from it, right? So back to anger, right? So I also was, like, very angry that I didn't have any control in my life. So that's why I controlled a lot of people. And that's why I also held on to control for such, like, even now, I'm still kind of, like, releasing a lot of that control, because my mom taught me that it was okay to be controlling, because my mom is super controlling, right? And it's just like a generational thing. So I had generational, like, controlling behavior, abuse, addiction, alcoholism, violence, what else? Anger, depression, victim mindset. Because, like, if you really think about it, domestic violence was also, like, a generational thing, because it was, like, alcoholism or drugs or both. But either way, it sets off, like, abuse, especially domestic violence, right? So, and then it perpetuates the thing of, like, let's blame the victim, which is weird, because, like, they've all been in that spot, but then they still blame the victim. So it's, like, very, like, hypocritical things. It's like they're trying to show you to stay in this, like, negative mindset, negative way of thinking, and I couldn't be part of it anymore. Like, I was part of it at some point, because I didn't know any better. Like, I'm not gonna make excuses, but I just didn't know any fucking better. And when I was, like, blaming these victims or whatever and all that stuff, I was, like, 22, right? I didn't start really understanding about the victim's point of view till I was, like, 23, 24, 25 type thing, right? Because I, like, remember, I had to, like, had my eyes open and go through it. So if you don't want to learn from my way, my hair is so greasy, it's gross. If you don't want to learn the hard way like I did, be open and don't blame the victims, and try to look and not judge and see all perspectives. If you're in a situation where someone talks about what's going on in their life, or, like, if they're talking about, like, them dealing with, like, abuse of any sort, right? So anyways, this was supposed to be anger, and now it's about, like, abuse, whatever. Back to anger. We'll touch that subject in another time, but, like, I totally, like, veered off of the original, whatever. So I also was, like, angry at the fact that, like, nobody would listen to me. Nobody understood me. Nobody took the time to get to really know me. They just know of me, they project whatever they think that I know, or that they project whatever they see me as, and it's not true. It's like whatever they fucking think of, like, who I am, which is not even who the fuck I am. Half the time it's just their like fantasy running wild and all that crap. And 3, people put me on a pedestal thinking I'm like something I'm not. So they could be saying or thinking that, I don't know, I'm like this amazing, perfect person, and I'm not. Weirdly enough, there are people that have thought that I am perfect. Whatever. I don't know. But I'm not. Alright? I am perfectly imperfect. And I am not who you think I am. I am not what you heard. At all. I am me. That is it. And I will always be me. And if you're expecting that I'll be somebody else, then prepare to be disappointed. Because I am not what you heard. I never will be what you heard. And what you heard probably not is true. But anyways, so back to what you're now hearing that I am, because I'm telling you who I was, not who I am now, right? So, I used to walk around so angry. Like, I was expecting a fight to happen at any moment. I was like, because I always had a knife on me, right? Because I was always expecting for the worst to happen. I was like, man, just in case if I get mugged, gotta have a knife. Or just in case if I get kidnapped, gotta have a knife. Just in case if somebody wants to try to the R word me, got a knife. Stab them in the leg or something. Run. Luckily, I never had to use my knife on someone. We'll just go with that, right? So, the funniest part is, like, unrelated to it, like, I've blamed victims when it came to, like, domestic violence, but when it came to the R word, I always had their backs, and I was like, man, there's people that would just take advantage of you and stuff like that. I just thought that was weird. That's just so backwards. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Anyways, back to anger, right? I also, because I was also abused as a kid, forgot to tell you that, because I was abused and neglected as a kid and not listened to and not shown love and not had a parent that showed me healthy love, that also fueled that anger, because that childhood me was not, I would say that it wasn't like loved, cherished, like satisfied. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't fucking matter. But what matters is that, it just fueled that anger more and more, right? And then I also use anger to mask pain and hurt and being betrayed and masking depression. Because I felt like instead of being sad and crying and being a victim and being it was me, I was like, might as well just be angry. Angry at everything, angry at the world, angry at people, angry at myself, and angry at my situation, and pissed off that I'm in this situation to begin with, because like of circumstance or whatever. Now, some of it was circumstance, other parts of it, I got myself in that shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I put myself in that. I could have avoided it, but I didn't, because I was stubborn, and I was dumb, and I was angry, and I was just vengeful and petty, and, like, emotionally immature, and childish, and just a whole bunch of, like, negative stuff, right? Water. Right? So, for a while, it got so bad to the point where, like, my face would heat up when I get angry, right? And people would be like, oh, she's mad. Like, I remember, I think it was in high school, because, like, that's when I was, like, my most angriest times. I tell you, I think I was my most angriest when I was in high school, because some high school kids, they're fucking assholes, okay? Like, I don't care what generation you are, but you high school kids, you guys are assholes. Anyways, you guys need to stop being such fucking assholes. But whatever. So, like, this one girl, I forgot what she did. It doesn't matter. But what matters is that I would get so angry that my face would get red. I would feel my ears heat up. I would feel my body, like, literally heat up. And I would get so quiet and I would get so mad. And they were like, "Are you angry right now?" And then I looked at them like mad as fuck. I didn't say nothing though, because, like, at the time in high school, like, I would slowly started speaking up and being honest and being like, you know what, this and this and that. But other times, like, I would also kind of be like how it was when I was a kid, like, quiet and, like, kind of build and bury that shit up and bottle that shit up till I explode, which also was another thing I did too a lot. I bottled shit up till I exploded, and sometimes I exploded on the wrong person, which is not fucking good either. That's, like, terrible as well. But anyways, so I got mad, and I can't remember what the heck I said, but, like, they got scared, you know what I'm saying? So then they didn't really fuck with me after that, you know, because I just was the type, like, the kids would just, like, even say too, which is terrible. Don't joke about this, because that's not true. But I wasn't the type, but they would say I would be the type that I would go to school and, like, everybody would, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not what I was. But I played along and I said yes so they wouldn't mess with me. So, do with that information as much as you can or what you will. But I wasn't the type that would, But sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it so people could just leave you the fuck alone. And that's what I kind of was at the point, at that time. And I think I was like freshman, sophomore. But when I was junior, senior, then that's when I stopped giving a fuck. And I started telling people how they were. Like, I remember one time, man, I'm gonna bring this chick's name, whatever. I don't even care, because we don't even talk no more. She used me. So my ex-friend, we're not even gonna say best friend, because she wasn't even my best friend. But my ex-friend at the time, Sam, right? She decided to go ahead and hang out with these, like, skaters. And the skaters in my school, I'm not gonna lie, they're fucking losers. They're losers. All they did was, like, skate and pretend that they were cool. Now, I don't have anything against skaters. I just had something against them because they were acting fake. I think that's what it was. Like, I didn't care if they skated. Although, like, skating, for me personally, I just think it's kind of lame. But, I mean, hey, if you like skating, go ahead. You know, do you. Like, go ahead and have some skating. I don't care. But I'm talking about, like, the people in my school. They were, like, kind of lame. And they sucked. The tricks sucked. If you're going to be in skating, at least be good. Don't suck. Like, all the time. Like, and it was, like, it's not like I was trying to see how they were. But, like, because it was in front of the school. Everybody could see. And, you know, if you go to school every day, you end up seeing the shit every day. Right? Because I would be in the back of school smoking cigarettes and stuff. And, like, they were there. So I would be watching them, and they sucked every day. They didn't get better. How you gonna skate and you don't get better? Like, that's why I said I didn't like skating. Because if you're gonna go be a skater, at least improve yourself. Anyways, you know, we're not even gonna talk about skating because, like, we're talking about what I thought about them, right? So, because I'm getting off into too many tangents. I swear to God, I gotta stop doing that. So anyways, she was like, oh, well, she told me, oh, you want to hang out? Return to sender. And I was like, return to sender. Sorry. And I was like, no, I don't, like, are you gonna hang out with them skaters? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, no. I told her, I'm like, you're too cool for them. I'm too cool for them. They're lame. They're lame as fuck. What are you doing hanging out with them? I'm like, that's not even me. I'm like, I don't even like skating. Why would I hang out with them? And they're not even good at skating. I even said that to her. She was like, well, this and that. I'm like, okay, fine. I said, I'll only hang out with you while you're with them, doing whatever, but I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, I'm not even gonna talk to them, whatever, because I don't even like them like that. Whatever, right? And so she, I guess she brought me, whatever, to the stupid group of guys, which was like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of them, whatever, right? And it was like closer to like the end of the year, so it wasn't like this was the beginning of the year. Like, I've seen them quite a few times, right? I don't really talk to them, but I know of them. It's like, you don't have to see or know the person to know how the person is. That's me, right? So I decided to just, like, go ahead and hang out with her while she was with them, whatever. Anyways, so she decided, I don't know, something happened, and I was just fucking over it. I was just like, you know what? And that this is when you know that I am going to say something, or no. When I say something, this is how you know I'm going to hurt some feelings. There you go, right? I say, you know what? That's when you're all fucked. Run. When I say, you know what? And I look at you like that, leave. Don't even wait for me to respond or start my bullshit, because once I start, that's it. I'm hurting feelings. I'm hurting your ego. I'm hurting your pride. With truth. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm literally calling stuff how I see it, right? So I say, you know what? To all of them, I said to Sam, I'm like, why the fuck you hanging out with these fucking losers, bro? I'm like, they don't do anything, and they're like, all they do is like do shitty ass like tricks all day and waste their time in the back of the school. Like, y'all don't fucking amount to shit. I'm like, and then I started pointing at each of them, right? And then I said, like, you're fake as fuck. Like, I don't even like you. You don't even like me. And then I was like, you're full of shit. And then I was like, I don't really know anything about you, so you're good. But, like, yeah. And then I'm like, and, like, you don't even freaking whatever, right? And I said to them, I don't even know why the fuck I'm even here, or why the fuck I'm even hanging out with you guys. I'm wasting my time with you guys because you guys are fucking losers. I said, Sam, if you want to hang out with these losers, you can go ahead and hang out with these losers by yourself. I said, I don't hang out with losers. I said, because I'm better than this. If I'm going to waste my time, apparently smoking cigarettes, but not with these people, right? And so, yeah, that's when I exploded, and I just said what I had to say of how I felt with them, because they were so fake. They were so fake. Like, oh my God, I couldn't relate to that. I was like, bro, how can you be so fake? I don't know. Anyways, so that still irks me. Like, there's still a lot of people who are fake as hell right now, who just pretend to be someone that they're not, right? And that's also what fueled my anger too, because I think in an angry / loving way, maybe like tough love way, I was just like, to a lot of my friends too, especially in the past, because I used to be really angry and all that stuff, like, you could do so much better. Why are you faking this shit? Yourself is amazing, is great, has so much more potential than this fake ass personality that you're fucking playing 24/7. Is what I was saying in an angry way, right? Now, I say it in a more gentle, understanding way, and I will say now, instead of saying like, dude, why are you acting like this fake ass personality that ain't even yours? Like, what the fuck? Like, stop acting like a loser, right? That's what I would, old me would say. New me now would say, is like, what are you doing? Why are you acting somebody that you're not? I see the real you. I see how you are truly inside. And it's actually way more amazing than what you're portraying outside now. It's fake. Like, it's nobody, like, okay, probably people can relate to that if they have nothing going on for themselves. If they want to portray a lie or a projection of something that isn't real, right? To like make friends or to be relatable, or maybe to hide the fact that you don't really truly like yourself or accept yourself, and that's why you act this persona. Or maybe you're ashamed of yourself or embarrassed of yourself. Or maybe you don't know that you're ashamed and embarrassed of yourself, but you're doing all this stuff and it is showing. And the exterior, but like, you gotta see in the layers. But if you see through that shit like I do, and you see through those in-between layers, what you're not seeing is basically that you're embarrassed or ashamed of who you are, or what you did, or what you have done in the past. And that's why you act like a different person, like not you. And what boggles my mind, is I could, I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but I never had to do that. I never had to fake something or a person. Maybe for a while, like maybe in a toxic relationship or a job, that's a little different because at least you're getting paid for one of them, and for the other, whatever. I had my reasons, whatever. But that was only for 3 years, right? I'm saying, sure. But like all your life, you played this person, and you did. You currently are. Isn't it time to put the costume away? Put up the wig, take off the makeup, finally be yourself? Because yourself is waiting for you. Nobody else is waiting for you. The heck, everybody wants to see you fail. Isn't that funny? There might be some individuals, who are waiting for you once you go in a more positive timeline. Let's say that, because there's always timelines, right? But like, if you're in this matrix world, right, where there's like so many depressing people who are subconsciously or low-key waiting for your downfall, right, and you're playing this persona, you're letting them win by not being yourself, by being the full of shit character that you're being. I'll give you some credit though, or I give you some leeway. Yes, there is. I guess mind control programs that the government does instill with, like, with schools and entertainment and commercials and music and news and social media and all that stuff, the obvious, and this phone, and like food too, part of it. Food does do a lot of great manipulation in there, but that's only a quarter of it. The other part is you understanding that it's you. So, and I know a good half of you knows that you're playing a fucking character that you hate, but you still play it because you'll have your friends, because you don't want to be alone, or because, I don't know, maybe you don't want to relearn a lesson that traumatized you and you think you're not ready, but you are. A lot of you guys are running from your own self. But I got a question. Aren't you out of breath yet? From all that fucking running? Like, I'm 33, right? And I've never played this, like I told you, this fake ass Persona. But some of you guys have played it for like almost all your life. So imagine 20 plus years, right? You playing a person that ain't even you. Aren't you fucking out of breath? Isn't it suffocating? Aren't you drowning? I don't know. This be like one of the few things that I will tell you that I cannot relate, nor will I want to relate. I'm sorry. I will be understanding, and I'm open, and I like to listen, but I refuse to understand that. Like, not understand, but relate. There you go. To relate to that, because like, I was always honest. I always told things how it was. If you ask around, people will tell you that I am a little too honest, to the point where it hurts feelings. And that's why people don't like me. And a lot of people make up stories and talk about me and say all this crap, whatever. Like, I don't care. But like, apparently, like I told you, I'm still getting informed that people are still talking shit. So, I know this is a long ass video. It's like 30 minutes long. I probably have to cut this in half. So, you get, because y'all attention spans be like, you know what I'm saying? Even me though, like, I ain't gonna lie. But the main point of the story is that, well, there's a lot of points. Is one, be your true self. Stop playing this character that ain't even you, okay? And if you don't even know who you are, now's the time. Now you got time. Now's the perfect time to find out who you are. As everything is uncertain, everything is freaking collapsing, and everything is switching gears. It's time you switch gears too. It's time you keep up with times and find out who the fuck you are. Sit with yourself. Right? I sit with myself. Or I try to, at least. I try to think. Oh, my legs. Now I see why these TikTokers be like, oh, my legs. I'd be sitting cross-legged for too long. For like 3 hours or 2. Anyways. And then another one is, don't be so angry. You know, life is too short for you to be angry all the time. And that's what I was getting at with my anger story. It was because I was so angry that I was only fixated on anger and negative emotions, that I didn't see the beauty in the world. I wasn't present. I wasn't here. I wasn't, appreciating or being grateful for good things that did happen in my life, because I was so fixated and worried about all the things that pissed me off, all the things that made me angry, all the things that I so badly wanted to control, but I couldn't control because it was out of my control. But that's what got me angry, because I couldn't control it. And I try to control people, try to control how they think, their perspectives. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I cannot change people's thoughts. If they want to be stuck in stupid and stuck on limited thinking and stuck in their ways, then they're going to have to be. And, I will say this, because you guys might misconstrue this, but I love people. I actually do love people. I have a deep love for people. And I think that's why, also, was another thing why I was so angry at people. Because I loved people so much. And because people did not love me back like I wanted them to. And I think that was another control. I wanted them to bring the same loyalty, love, compassion, strength, understanding, all that stuff that I brought to people, and they didn't bring it back to me. And here's where I fucked up. I was bringing all that love and all that compassion to the wrong people. To damaged people, unhealed people, people that took advantage of me. But I didn't realize that until it was too late, so it was my fault. That is what I'll say I messed up on. And also, like I told you, man, I can't expect the same amount of love that I give for people in return. I'm going to be disappointed every time. I'm sorry, but that's not how this world works. Sometimes it's not reciprocated back. And I still gotta love them anyways. And appreciate them. And it's not gonna turn me to be an angry person or a mean person or an evil person because someone can. What? Oh, come on. I'm gonna act like a little fucking kid and be like, oh, you don't love me the same way I love you. Come on. I accepted that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna love people as hard as I do. And I understand that. And I kind of an acceptance of that. I don't know. I can't think of another word. There's another word for that, but it doesn't freaking matter. And I understand that not everybody's going to have the same love that I do for people. And that's okay. The only person who probably would have the same love as for people as me would probably be God. That would probably be the only person that would have the same love and the same forgiveness. And that is the reason why I would prefer to walk like God, if I could, along the lines similar. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we're not going to go into religious. But I'm just saying that in the love version. Because that's the only entity, being, person, whatever, that would love people unconditionally. Without, trying to get the same reciprocation in return. Because they're just full of love. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why. I think that's why I was so angry with people, because they didn't love me the same like I loved them. And it's fine. But it's good to have healthy amounts of anger. I'm not saying oh, you can't be angry. No. Have healthy amounts of anger. And don't let it fester deep inside of you and looping thoughts of anger. And then that gets you to become an angry person and have you filled with negativity. It's just not good for you. What else? There was another one. Oh, yes. And, don't judge other people, especially when it comes to their traumas or what happened to them and all that wonderful jazz. Obviously, take everything what people say as a grain of salt. Don't just blindly trust people either. You know what I'm saying? But just hear them out. Don't be judgmental. Don't come in there with all right, well, let's just see if she deserved whatever she said. Or let's just see if this bitch is lying. I bet you she's lying. There's something fishy about the story. I bet you she deserved it. No. Don't come in there with that mindset. Don't come in there with that mindset. Because if you start coming in there with that mindset, you're going to be that person. The roles are going to be reversed, and you're going to be that individual. You're going to be on that individual's end. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Life's funny that way. Life will show you, it's like, okay, seems like you haven't learned this lesson, but we'll get you to learn this lesson. And if not, we're going to keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until you learn. Or it'll be your forever thing. It will be your lifelong thing. There are some people who are, at first they're victims, it happens, whatever. But then they start living like a victim. And then they start seeing everything like, oh my God, everything's out to get me. No, not everything's out to get you. At first, that thing that you went through, yes, you were kind of a victim to it to an extent, but you also had a role to play in that. It was also a life lesson learned from you, or for you, I should say. So it was a lesson to learn here. But the lesson now has gone over for 5 years. It is not a lesson anymore. Now it's becoming your life because you're not learning. So either you learn from this lesson, or this lesson's going to be your life. Either the ancestors agree. So, those are the 3 lessons learned, or you should learn from this video. Because either you learn from my way, which is the easy way, which is me telling you this and warning you so you don't have to go through this. Or you don't listen to me and you start being stubborn and you're like, this girl knows nothing and why should I believe her? Or maybe it did spark something, but then you still end up going back to your same ways. You will learn real quickly that you should have listened. So it's up to you. I can't force you to learn this lesson or to heed this warning, but I'm letting you know we're at a period where things should come to a close. Cycles should come to a close if you aren't closing things out already. If you're still living them through, be prepared to stay in that cycle for quite a long time because you were warned. But since now things are ending and all that stuff, take this time right now to reassess everything in your life, see what you got to change, and change it. Or otherwise, it's going to be there for a long time until you decide to take a risk. So I suggest you do it before life does it for you and you feel very uncomfortable and you're not going to like it. You make the decision. It's your life. Live it how you should do it, not how everybody else makes you think you should. It's your life. Live it.